He said she betrayed him. She said he broke her first. After weeks of silence, a storm of accusations, and a viral live that had even day one fans turning their backs, Remy Ma has finally responded. And this ain't no tweet, no shady story. This is raw, uncut audio that's shaking the culture to its core. In a plot twist nobody predicted, a voice note has just leaked. And what Remy says inside, it flips Papoose's entire narrative upside down. We're talking names dropped, timelines exposed, and secrets that were never supposed to leave the studio. You thought the story was simple? Think again. Because this ain't just relationship drama, this is betrayal, legacy, manipulation, and a truth that's uglier than anyone expected. And the craziest part? What Remy just revealed might make Papoose the villain in his own story. The fans are divided, the streets are buzzing, and the family, they're torn. So now, the question isn't just did she cheat? It's who's been lying to us all along? This is the moment everything changes. And trust us, you are not ready for what she says next. They were the blueprint. For over a decade, Remy Ma and Papoose stood as hip-hop's unshakable love story. Through prison walls, career gaps, industry, shade, and public scrutiny, they held it down. She was the lyrical assassin. He was the ride-or-die king. Fans idolized them, rappers respected them, and even their haters had to admit their bond looked untouchable. Until that live, when Papoose hit that go live button at 2:17 a.m., no one knew what was coming. He wasn't in the studio. He wasn't on promo. He was sitting in a car, hoodie on, voice low, eyes burning, and the words that came out of his mouth, they cracked the internet in half. Sometimes loyalty gets tested in the darkest way, and sometimes the one you protect the most be the one holding the knife. Just like that, the fairy tale was shattered. Within minutes, comments poured in. Fans asked if he was talking about Remy. Others begged him to log off. Some thought it was a breakup tease. Others said it was a setup for a song. But then he dropped it, a line no one could misinterpret. I held her down when the world gave up. When she was locked up, I was outside making sure her name never died. And now I'm just finding out I wasn't the only one in her ear all those late nights. It hit like a body shot. Was Papoose saying Remy cheated? The live cut off just minutes later. No follow-up, no clarification, just confusion, betrayal, and a comment section in flames. Within hours, blogs picked it up. Twitter went into chaos mode, and fans began dissecting old interviews, bars, and appearances for clues they might have missed. But Remy? Silent. For 6 days, she posted nothing. No story, no caption, not even a like. And that silence said more than any post ever could. Then, on the 7th day, it happened. An anonymous page posted a 10-second clip. The screen was black, but a voice played. Remy's voice. And she was crying. I didn't want it to be like this. He doesn't even know the full story. The internet lost its mind. Was this her response? Was it real? Was it staged? Blogs reposted, fans argued, and some even said the voice was AI. But real or fake, it did one thing perfectly. It made people hungry for the truth. And that's exactly when Remy made her move. She posted a simple image to her story. Black background. One sentence. I'm done letting him control the narrative. I got my own receipts. No name, no tag. But everybody knew. And when she dropped the link to her own live premiere, scheduled for 8 p.m. sharp, the countdown began. Fans cleared their calendars, shade rooms loaded their drafts. And everybody, from the streets of Brooklyn to Hollywood Hills, had one question. Was Remy really the villain, or had Papoose just played the game better? When the clock hit 8, her live opened with no music, no filter. Just her, sitting in front of her phone, lips tight, eyes locked in. "Y'all want the truth?" she said, her voice firm. "Cool, let's get into it." She started slow. This ain't about me versus him. This ain't about cheating. This about a man who got so used to being the hero in our story, he couldn't handle what it looked like when I stopped needing to be saved. Then she dropped the first twist. There was someone I confided in? Yeah, I won't deny that. But it wasn't romantic. It was spiritual, emotional. Something I wasn't getting at home. Comments blew up instantly. Is she serious? Emotional? Cheating is still cheating. So she just admitted it? Remy didn't blink. For months, I was screaming for support, screaming for connection. But when he got deep in the industry, when the cameras started calling, when the deals started rolling in, I became a side plot. Then she pulled out her phone. "But I ain't here to talk. I'm here to show." She played a voice note. And the voice on the other end? Unmistakably Papoose. "I know I ain't been present. I just been chasing this dream so hard. I thought if I stacked enough wins, you'd stop feeling like I wasn't enough." The live chat froze. Fans stopped typing. Because in that one sentence, everything flipped. Was he confessing? Was he admitting he lost touch? Remy paused the audio, looked straight at the screen. That was from 5 months ago, when things were already breaking. And instead of us going to therapy like I asked, he went to Instagram. She didn't stop there. I never stepped out. I never laid with nobody else. But did I talk to someone? Yes, because I was tired of crying into pillows while the world called us goals. Fans were now divided. Some said she was gaslighting. Others said she was finally speaking up. But all agreed on one thing. This wasn't the Remy they expected. And then just when the energy started to level, she dropped a clip that detonated the internet all over again. A secret recording. Her and Papoose in a heated argument. "You," could hear his voice crack. "Why you talking to him like that? You calling him king like he me?" Her voice louder now. "Because he listens. Because when I say I'm not okay, he don't say I'll call you later. He says, 'What do you need right now?'" The room in the recording went silent. Remy looked into the live camera. "So, yeah, I talked to somebody. And no, I ain't sorry. Because if I had to choose between looking like a villain online or dying in silence, I'd rather let the internet eat me alive." The live had barely ended when clips started flooding the timeline. Fans were arguing in quote tweets, bloggers were scrambling to screen record every second, and the comment sections were wild with people switching sides. Remy Ma had just torn open the curtain on what everyone thought was a perfect relationship. And now nobody knew who to believe. But while the internet was still recovering from the voice notes and secret recordings, Remy wasn't done. A few hours later, she dropped a follow-up, a sit-down video, pre-recorded, high quality, no background. Music, just her and a glass of water. She looked calm, composed, dangerous. "People keep asking why I'm doing this now," she began. "It's simple. He made it public. I'm finishing it public." This time, she told the backstory. Not of a betrayal, but of a breakdown. She described nights alone, coming home to silence, studio sessions that lasted till sunrise with no call, family dinners canceled last minute, anniversaries missed because business was booming. I supported his dreams. All of them. I sacrificed for them. And the minute I asked for that same support, I became a problem. Her voice got sharp. "Y'all saw King holding his queen down. What you didn't see was the queen lifting the king every time he crumbled behind the scenes." Then came the next drop. A screenshot, a text thread between Remy and Papoose from 7 months earlier. Her messages were full paragraphs, emotional, pleading. His replies were one-liners. "You trippin'? We'll talk later. Don't make this bigger than it is." She zoomed in on one of her messages. "I feel like you don't even see me anymore. Like you're married to your image, not to me." The audience watching was shook. Fans began tweeting, "She really went through it," while others responded with, "So now she leaking private convos too?" The debate was heating up, but one thing was clear. Remy wasn't painting herself as the victim. She was exposing the cracks in a story everyone thought was flawless. Then she dropped the real curveball. "Since you want to bring up loyalty, let's talk about what loyalty really looked like in this house." The screen cut to an audio file. This time it wasn't her voice. It was a woman. Unfamiliar, soft-spoken. He said they were separated. He said it was complicated. I didn't know I was in the middle of all this. Fans froze. Was this someone else? Another woman? Was Papoose hiding something of his own? Remy didn't say the woman's name. She didn't explain the context. She just let the clip play. He came to see me twice. Stayed over once. And yeah, we were together. Cut. Silence. Silence. Then Remy's voice. I found that voicemail 2 weeks before he went live. The chat exploded. Even her haters went quiet. Nobody expected it. Nobody was ready. And the entire story flipped again. Now the timeline wasn't asking, did Remy cheat? They were asking, was Papoose projecting the whole time? Twitter was split. Some defended him, others dragged him. One viral post said, "So he aired her out online before she could expose him? Oh, this is chess, not checkers." Remy looked straight into the camera. No tears, no performance. I ain't saying I'm perfect. But don't ever let a man make you feel guilty for the mess he made and blamed you for. She leaned forward, eyes locked in. He wanted to control the narrative. But baby, the receipts don't lie. That clip alone got reposted over 10,000 times in one night. In the days that followed, everything snowballed. Old interviews resurfaced. One podcast clip showed Papoose joking about trusting your partner, even when the DMs get spicy. Fans now believed that was projection. Another clip from a birthday party vlog showed him side-eyeing Remy's male friend all night. Fans now said that was jealousy rooted in guilt. And then it happened. Papoose posted. Not a video, not a message, just a picture. His wedding ring on the kitchen counter. No caption. Instagram went insane. People begged him to speak. Others told him to log off. The comments were a war zone of fans fighting over what loyalty meant. Who broke it first, and whether or not Remy should have kept it private. But the biggest twist hadn't even hit yet. Blogger known for breaking exclusives leaked something wild. An alleged studio session recording featuring Papoose venting to another rapper. She flipped the game on me. I ain't even mad she told her side. What's messing me up is she did it better than me. People were stunned. Was he admitting defeat? Was this all just a public image war? But then came the part of the leaked audio that really flipped the internet. And Shorty? Yeah, I messed with her. I just never thought Remy would find out. Boom. Confirmation. Not just suspicion, not just interpretation. A flat-out confession. The reaction was immediate. Fans began demanding apologies for dragging Remy. Hashtags like "Kak, Remy was right and Papo confessed" started trending. Celebrities who had stayed silent started speaking out. One rapper tweeted, "Y'all dragged that woman through the mud just to find out her ride or die had the aux cord the whole time." Another posted, "Sometimes the queen gotta flip the board," but Remy wasn't done yet. Her final line from that sit-down video started circulating like wildfire. Let them call you cold, heartless, fake. Let them say you flipped the script. Because once you stop begging people to hear your side, the truth gets louder all by itself. A video dropped on a small YouTube channel run by a lesser-known music engineer. Someone fans barely recognized. But within hours, the clip had over 1 million views. Why? Because it featured a behind-the-scenes moment from a studio session with Papoose, recorded weeks before he went live. The video wasn't meant to leak. It looked like raw footage, phone camera, shaky angle. But the audio? Crystal clear. And in it, Papoose was venting. I should have just left when I felt her slippin'. But nah, I wanted to hold on to the brand, to the image. We been the face of black love too long to break now. He wasn't angry. He was exhausted, defeated. She outgrew me. I know it. She ain't just need support. She needed evolution. And I ain't have it in me. Those words hit hard. Fans who had previously defended him now saw a different side. This wasn't just about betrayal. This was about ego, fear, and the pressure of being perfect in public. And then, the engineer asked off camera, "So you think she found better?" Papoose paused. "Not better, just what I couldn't be anymore." Boom. That clip alone was shared by every blog, every T page, every messy Twitter thread. People weren't sure if it was a setup, a calculated leak, or a cry for help. But one thing was clear. This man had been unraveling long before he ever went live. And just as fans started seeing Papoose in a different light, Remy posted again. This time. She wasn't angry. She was reflective. A black and white photo of her holding a notebook, pen in hand, studio mic in the background. The caption was just one word. Writing. Within minutes, rumors swirled. Was she dropping a track? A2S full response in bar form? Fans were begging for it. And then, a few days later, she delivered. A freestyle video dropped at midnight. No auto-tune, no chorus, just raw bars spit over a classic boom-bap beat. And the lyrics? Nuclear. Called me disloyal while he whisperin'. To fans, claimin' he a king but couldn't lead his own plans. You was buildin' brands while I was buildin' pain. I was cryin' in the mirror. You was practicin' your name. The comments went crazy. This not a freestyle, this a funeral. She aired him out with poetry. She bled through the mic and didn't miss once. But the most shocking line came midway through the verse. Had me wearing vows like chains, calling it protection, while you was hiding side chicks in your studio sessions. People paused the video. Rewound. Played it again. Remy had just gone there. And it wasn't metaphorical. It was surgical. And just when people thought they had enough, she dropped the second verse. You want to talk receipts? Cool. Let's make it digital. Chumor check the phone bill, the flight logs, the visuals. Who was really in Vegas when you said you had a panel? Who sent flowers to a woman with a private channel? Now fans were doing detective work like it was their job. Screenshots of a mystery woman from a private Instagram account surfaced. Photos from Vegas tagged months ago, but geotagged at a location Papoose was known to have visited. And a blurry photo of 2 champagne glasses on a hotel balcony. Now everyone was convinced that wasn't a coincidence. But then came the next major twist. A woman named Kiara, no last name, no industry ties, suddenly posted a TikTok that went viral overnight. She claimed she had been around the circle for a while and had her own tea. Y'all think Remy was the one with secrets? Nah, I got DMs from Pop himself from way back. She showed partial screenshots. One said, "Don't post that pic yet, Ma." Another said, "I'll fly you out when I get a free day. Just keep it low." People were skeptical, until a verified rapper liked the post and commented, "Oh, wow, she finally said it." And just like that, the floodgates reopened. The Remy-verse Pop narrative had fully flipped into a deep investigation of his moves, his cover-ups, and his guilt. And for the first time in this entire saga, he had no response. Nothing, no post, no quote, no live, just silence. Remy, meanwhile, stayed on her pivot. Instead of bragging, she posted an old clip from a radio interview years ago. In it, she had said, "The biggest mistake women make is thinking being quiet keeps the love alive. Sometimes silence just buries you deeper." The quote went viral. Again, fans started using her lines as captions. Influencers stitched her. Freestyle. And slowly, she went from scandal headline to cultural statement. Papoose's image, once built on loyalty and devotion, now stood in limbo. Even fellow artists started distancing themselves. One R&B singer tweeted, "We were rooting for y'all, but truth is truth. That freestyle hit different." And then, just when fans thought the drama had settled, Remy announced a short film. Yes, a short film, titled "Loyalty Looks Different, in the Dark," set to premiere on YouTube. The teaser? Her sitting alone in a hotel room, staring at her phone. Audio of their old interviews playing in the background. The final frame showed her walking out the door with her notebook in hand. The caption? No red carpet, no flashy promo, no fake tears, just a YouTube link, and the words, "This is how I heal." Fans were glued to their screens from the very first second. The film opened with a quiet shot of Remy sitting at a makeup table. Lights off, just her reflection in the mirror. Voice notes played in the background. Real ones, mixed with scripted lines. One was unmistakably Papoose from a past interview. "When you love someone the way I love her, there's nothing you wouldn't do. Nothing you wouldn't forgive." Remy's reflection didn't smile. The story followed a fictionalized version of herself, a woman named Rena, trapped between fame and fracture, between loyalty and loneliness. It wasn't heavy-handed. It was artful, symbolic, and at times, painfully honest. There was a scene where Rena sat in the back of a Sprinter van, scrolling through her phone as thousands of comments filled the screen. Some praised her, others destroyed her. Her phone buzzed. A message popped up. "You really let the streets down." Rena didn't cry. She just turned the phone off and whispered, "The streets ain't in this bedroom when I can't sleep." That line? That was the one. It hit so hard that fans started tattooing it into captions, fan edits, and reels instantly. In another scene, Rena and her husband argued in the kitchen. No screaming, just cold words and colder silence. "Why? Didn't you just talk to me?" he asked. She looked him dead in the eyes. "I did. You just stopped listening." The tension in that moment felt real because for fans, it was. People who'd watched Remy and Papoose for years knew this wasn't just performance. It was truth dressed as fiction. And when the film ended with Rena walking out of the house in slow motion, her suitcase dragging behind her, fans knew. The message was clear. Remy was done looking like the one who needed saving. She was her own exit plan. But the drama didn't stop with the film. The day after its release, Remy did her first interview, and she didn't hold back. When asked if she regretted leaking those voice notes and texts, she said, "No, because I had to protect my name. And I was tired of people loving a version of us that didn't exist anymore." The host asked if she still loved Papoose. Her answer, "Always. But love don't excuse lies." And then came the final punch. If you gon' tell the story, tell it all. Don't stop at where you looked like the hero. Include the nights you didn't come home, include the messages you erased, include the women who thought I wouldn't find out. Fans erupted again, and this time, it wasn't just music blogs and messy threads picking it up. Major outlets ran with it. Articles titled "Remy Takes Back Her Power" and "Papoose's Silence Speaks Louder Than His Live" flooded timelines. Even respected journalists began praising her for handling her side like a chess master. Meanwhile, Papoose still hadn't said a word, until finally, after nearly 3 weeks of total silence, he posted a single black and white video. No music, just him. He looked tired, aged, like a man who'd been through hell and realized he might not make it back. A lot been said, a lot been assumed, some true, some twisted. But what's real? I failed her. That opening line stunned everyone. He paused, then looked down. Not 'cause I cheated, not 'cause of another woman, but 'cause I let her bleed for too long while I played savior in public. He confirmed the leaks. Confirmed the Vegas rumor. Confirmed the silence. I thought if I stayed quiet long enough, the internet would move on. But she ain't just speak up, she showed up. He admitted to ignoring her pain, to getting lost in image and legacy, to putting music and business before presence and peace. And then for the first time, he said what everyone had been waiting to hear: Remy ain't the villain. She just stopped dying quietly. Fans were stunned, the comments filled with support, shock, and closure. Some still defended him. Others said it was too little, too late. But most agreed. This was finally the realest thing he'd said since. It all started. Then, in a moment no one expected, he ended with, "And if you ever find your way back home, the door's not locked. Just open." It wasn't a plea. It wasn't pressure, just pain. Remy didn't respond publicly. But later that night, she reposted a fan quote from her short film, "Sometimes love don't end. It just changes addresses." Days after Papoose's quiet video shook the internet, Remy Ma remained silent. No stories, no captions, no interviews. Fans waited, prayed, speculated, but nothing came. And just when they assumed she was done, finished, moving on for good, she did something no one expected. She performed live, a surprise appearance at a small, sold-out showcase in Harlem. No hype, no advance flyers, just a low-key leak from a DJ that read, "She said she got something to get off her chest." Fans packed the venue in under an hour. By the time the lights dimmed, the room was on edge. And then Remy stepped out. No stylist, no label team. Just her, braids pulled back, oversized hoodie, mic in hand. And when the beat dropped, the crowd froze. Because it wasn't just a performance. It was a statement. A statement. The song, unreleased, raw, poetic, was titled "Still Mine," and every bar was fire. You loved me loud when the world had us trending, but in private, I was dying, pretending queen with a crown you wouldn't carry, building an empire alone, married. She didn't name him directly. She didn't need to. Everyone knew who it was for. By the second verse, fans were crying. By the last bar, they were screaming, but the final line is what sent chills through the venue. You lost me while trying to keep your image clean. Now the silence you gave me gonna live in every 16. Mic drop. Literally. She walked off stage before the beat faded, leaving fans in stunned silence. And when she got backstage, her team handed her a phone. Thousands of messages flooded in. Everyone was asking the same thing. Was that the goodbye? But Remy didn't answer. Instead, she posted a single Instagram story hours later, a screenshot of a text. The name was blurred out, but the message read, "I deserved that. I heard every word. And I'm sorry." She captioned it. "Now you listen." And that's when fans knew. This wasn't just about a breakup, or betrayal, or a scandal. This was about reclaiming power, rewriting the story, and letting go. of the myth that love survives in silence. Within days, clips of the Harlem performance had gone viral. TikTok flooded with duets, fan remixes, and think pieces. One creator went viral saying, "Remy didn't just respond. She dismantled the entire fantasy of perfect love, and we watched it in real time." And then the ultimate twist came. Not from Remy, not from Papoose, but from their daughter. A private fan account posted a screenshot of a poem, written by their teen daughter, shared anonymously in a school project, but now spreading fast. It read, "I watched love go quiet, not with yelling or blame, but with good mornings unsaid and hands that never reached back." The internet paused. Nobody reposted it with memes. Nobody twisted it for content. People felt it, because this wasn't just about a celebrity couple anymore. This was about what it costs to hold things together when they're already broken. Remy Ma and Papoose didn't drop a reunion post. They didn't do a sit-down. They didn't spin it for a TV special. They lived it out loud and let the public feel the fallout. And slowly, the internet stopped choosing sides. People stopped commenting Team Remy or Team Papoose. They started saying, this was too real. They loved each other. They just couldn't grow the same way. And then, like all things in the internet age, the fire cooled. Remy kept working. She announced a memoir titled Letters I Never Sent. Papoose returned to the booth, dropping short verses about family, legacy, and lessons. And the last time they were ever mentioned together again? A photo, snapped by a random fan outside a courthouse in Brooklyn. They were walking side by side, not holding hands, not smiling, just two people who'd been through hell and survived. No caption, no statement, just the image of a queen and a king who loved each other out loud and walked away quiet. So there you have it, the full untold story. Not the version we saw in viral clips or shaded captions, but the real one, the raw one. A story of love, silence, pride, and pain between two people who were once the gold standard, until the truth started leaking louder than the lies ever could. Remy Ma didn't just respond, she rewrote the entire narrative. She gave us voice. Notes, live confessions, lyrical body bags, and a short film that left fans speechless. And Papoose? He cracked open his own truth too. Not through blogs, but through quiet moments, vulnerable audio, and the hardest sentence any proud man could say, "I failed her." This wasn't just celebrity drama. This was a cultural reset. It made us question how much of Black love is performance and how much of it survives behind closed doors. And now the biggest question remains. Do you think Remy went too far? Was Papoose just protecting his ego, or was he genuinely heartbroken? Can love like theirs ever bounce back? Or was this the moment it had to burn to build something new? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your side of the story. And if you followed this saga from the first live to the last lyric, you know what to do. Hit that like button. Subscribe for more real talk, raw stories, and all the viral drama no one else is brave enough to break down. Turn on post notifications, because when the next secret leaks, when the next queen speaks, and when the next legend falls or flies, we'll be right here, watching it all. With receipts in hand, stay locked in, stay bold, stay tuned.